What's good, everybody? You are watching Know This. I'm your host, Ariana, and I'm very excited to be on location in Los Angeles, in studio, with the very lovely Luna Angel, singer, songwriter, and musician. And we've also got DJ extraordinaire, award-winning DJ and musician, DJ Lady Shaw. So thank you all, ladies, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So the reason I wanted to have both of you in here, too, is because you're both doing amazing things on the music scene, entertainment scene in Los Angeles. And I think it's great too that you're also friends and you've collaborated. Let us in on how you met and kind of how you've come to work with each other.
Well, I was living in the Bay Area doing shows with my band. I had a local reggae band at the time, and we were doing different festivals, venues, touring, paying dues, I should say. And I remember I met Shaden at a little nightclub called the Shattuck down low in Berkeley, and came up to me and was like, "You're Luna Angel," and I'm like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm DJ Lady Shaw." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" And it was like on from there.
Obviously, her being a musician and me being a DJ, it was kind of a natural bond. For whenever she had shows, I would be her DJ, and everything naturally kind of fused together, from friendship to business partners to DJ, singer, just everything.
And that's true collaboration coming together.
Exactly.
Very nice. And so I wanted to transition a bit more to talking about your latest projects, because I know you have a lot going on. You had a mixtape come out, The Northern Lights, which has been doing well, and
trying to get it out there.
Yeah. And so I want to hear more about that process. And I know that for as much as music can become timeless, or an album can be timeless, it's really also making a stamp and reflecting a certain period in someone's life.
Definitely.
So what was Northern Lights reflecting for you?
It's, Northern Lights was kind of like a huge melting pot of so many different things. One, because I created those songs during a very intense, emotional transition in my life. I had just lost my only sibling to a very, tragic accident, and a lot of the songs were very therapeutic in me getting through that grief and those moments and dealing with those, that time in my life. But also rejoicing and showing my artistic movement and growth and creative growth. The thing about Northern Lights is it has a lot of different shades to it, I'd like to say. It's very mellow, it has a lot of dark undertones. The music is kind of like in a dreamlike state, but it also is, has some dance songs in there that are upbeat. There's the hip-hop side. We have an intro. Shaden did a quick intro drop for us. It's a huge reflection of a very intense period of my life, as well as just my personal artistic growth. We called it Northern Lights because it was, I'm from Northern California, living in Los Angeles, and the Northern Lights, which are the stars, take pictures of the stars.
And the album covers a constellation too, and you're facing the constellation.
Exactly.
Really beautiful. How do you balance your ambition for, of course, wanting to have as many people as possible hear your music in such a cutthroat industry, at the same time balancing, just being true to yourself and your music and your artistry?
I mean, that's a thing that we as artists, that's one of our struggles. We're here pouring out our hearts, and then when you go to a label or an executive or whatnot, they're going to be like, nah, this is not ready for radio. Nah, this is not the lane we want you in. And that's the struggle that we deal with as artists. In everything, there is some sort of sacrifice and compromise in everything that you do in life. And you have to really learn to balance that. And I think as artists, we kind of have our egos being like, well, no, this record is what it's going to be. And, and if you submit yourself to the artistry, you'll know that you can write 10 more different songs, that might not be what you wanted. You come to a place of maturity. You're like, you know what? I'm going to write 20 songs, and maybe 10 out of them might work. Maybe none of them will work. And that's really,
just a part of the process.
That's what it is, and
Okay. And something that I want to be a staple of the show is really seeing what the underlying mission of your work is. And so for all the music that you create, because I know that you also have been going through different, testing different styles, and you've done reggae music before, and now you're working with more pop R&B sounds.
Right.
But when all is said and done, regardless of the sound, regardless of particular lyrics at the time, like, what's the underlying message that you're communicating that you want people to know
I want, I want young women, I want young men to just know that you can be original, and you can be, and that can be interesting, that can be, appealing, and I always stayed true to that. I would have conversations with my producer about, well, I'm not an amazing singer, like, I can't do all these fancy runs, and da-da-da, and it was never, well, you need to go to vocal class 10 times because you can't sing. It was, you know what, you have something unique, and you need to learn to harness that and embrace that and work on that and improve it. And that's kind of, the message behind my music is stay true to yourself, stay original, because there's going to be millions of people doing the same thing. But to be original, one out of those millions of people doing something that's completely new is where it's hard. That's the difficult part.
So in that vein, what's next for you? What's on deck with all these projects?
So much. We have had our hands in a couple different projects. We were working with Rich Boy from Interscope.
Okay.
We just were in the studio last week with Illustrate, who's an artist, a hip hop artist signed to the Marleys, Ghetto Youth, Universal, and then we also have a music video that we just finished.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
so.
Is that for one of the songs on the mixtape, or this is going to be something new and special?
It is a new record.
Okay.
It's entitled "The City Is Still Mine."
Okay.
Shadan is in the video.
Oh,
singing.
nice. See, more collaboration, more support coming. I like that.
Yes.
I know DJ Lady Shaw, you've got a lot of things going on. Well, one, you're just DJing all the time, and I know you DJ across the country, around the world, and you also run an entertainment company, Lioness LA, putting on events, and I know that also has a philanthropy component that you like to promote within that. Could you talk more about the projects you have going on with that?
I began DJing back in 2002 and graduated from UC Berkeley, where I had learned how to DJ, moved to LA, which is my original home, and I met my business partner, Anisha Williams, through mutual friends, and initially she was just going to be my PR person while I DJ'd, and after working together a few events, it was kind of like me and Luna. It was like, we really have a special chemistry, and nightlife in LA is so male-dominated, and we felt like we're constantly working for other people, why not create our own special events firm with a feminine signature on it? And at the same time, we both have a strong interest in charities and philanthropic events and stuff like that, so we combined it with our parties. So any event that we do has a component where proceeds or awareness is being raised for a certain charity, and we pick a different charity with every event. And we try to highlight both female and male artists, but I make a special effort to include female live artists, female DJs, female performers. Luna's performed at a bunch of our events, so it's not that I'm trying to do an all-female thing, it's that LA needs that in LA nightlife. There is no, female promoters, female-owned nightclubs. They're very few and far between, so you have to really work to create that space.
Yeah, and especially in your industry in terms of DJing and having, prominent figures that are women, it's still unfortunately not, there's still the anomaly. And I know you were the first to win, it was the Winter Music Conference.
Right.
First woman to win. What year was that?
In 2008.
2008? And that was the first time a woman was winning?
It was the first time a woman competed.
Oh, wow.
And it was the first time I really took on a serious DJ battle, and I was just trying not to embarrass myself. I really had one of the stronger sets in the competition, probably because I was so nervous and felt like I had to over-prepare. DJing opens the door to everything else in music that you want to do. It opens the door to production, to recording, to being a full-blown artist. It just opens all the doors, so.
That's awesome. I love the unexpected paths.
Yeah, it took a huge turn.
How did you get your name, by the way? I'm always curious how...
Well, my real name is Shaden, and it's always been difficult my whole life for people to pronounce it, and so I shortened it to Shah. And with Shah, I mean, in Iranian it means king. And so I added a lady in front of it.
Oh, that's really a fly story behind that. I like that.
That's how the name came to be.
Very, very cool. And what do you have next on deck with you in terms of the projects you're hoping to take forward with your work?
Right now I'm working on a mixtape that I'm really excited about for Mafia.com. It's called the Mafia Shred Mix, and they're a female lifestyle company, so they cover female extreme sports and female musicians and things along that vein. So the mixtape is supposed to make you want to either dance as hard as you can or shred as hard as you can. Okay. So it's for, the snowboarder at the top of the mountain or the person getting ready to go to the club, or it's serving those vibes simultaneously. Hopefully. I'm only halfway through it, so we'll see
Very cool.
when I finish it. But other than that, just working on mixed CDs and putting out projects.
And at the end of the day, regardless of the venue, regardless of the mix that you happen to pull together that night, what's the core message that you want to be communicating, that you hope that comes through in your mixing?
One thing that's important is that the crowd is only going to get as excited as you are about the music. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the reasons I won the Winter Music Conference battle, was I was so just excited. I was personally excited to have it over with. And so when I was doing my mix, I was really jumping up and down and hitting all the records I planned for my set, and the crowd was with me. And I carry that into any setting, because if you're bored DJing, no one's gonna want to dance to their potential and have as much fun as they could. So I think pretty much I want to share my love of music through DJing and make people have a good of time as I'm having, and make sure they have the best night of their lives, if that's even possible. Take them down memory lane, hit them with new music, school them on music that I love, and just kind of take them all over the place without being boxed into any one genre.
Perfect. All of this music between the websites, we got lunaangel.com,
That's right.
and we also have
DJLadyShaw.com. You can click on the headphones link and get all my mix CDs.
Oh, awesome.
And if you're on Twitter, follow us, Luna Angel, DJ Lady Shaw,
Great.
Facebook.
Yes. Fan, or I guess it's the like button now.
That's right.
We'll do all of that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for sitting down. This was really great. I love the flow.
Thank you.
Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
Ariana.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime. So that is our show for today. And if you didn't know about these fly ladies making moves out here, now you know. We'll see you next time.